So there's this new announcement making waves. It's called Perplexity Computer. And it could seriously change how we think about not just AI, but work itself. To really get what this is all about, though, we've got to take a step back. Way back.
Yeah, you heard that right. We're going all the way back to 1757. See, the crazy thing is, computer wasn't a machine back then. It was a job title. It was for actual people, teams of them, who did these incredibly complex calculations by hand. And that one simple fact, it changes everything.
So that kind of begs the question, right? If a computer isn't just the box on your desk, what is it, really?
Okay, so this is really the core idea of what a computer is. It's a system that can take a huge, complicated job, break it down into smaller pieces, and then get it done accurately. Think about it. Those human computers from 1757, they did it with pen and paper. Today's computers do it with silicon circuits, but the principle, that's the same. This definition is the key to everything that's coming next. All right, so let's jump back to today's world of AI. We have these unbelievably powerful models, but they're running into a big problem. They're all stuck in their own little silos.
So here's the thing. The problem isn't that the AI models aren't smart enough. No, they're getting smarter at an insane pace. The real issue, the bottleneck, is the software we use to interact with them. Those apps just can't keep up or figure out how to combine all their different talents.
And this gets at a huge misunderstanding a lot of people have. The common thinking is that these AI models are all kind of the same, interchangeable, like a commodity. But that's not what's happening. At all. The reality is they're becoming hyper-specialized. One model is a genius at writing code, another is a master at creating video, and a third is just brilliant at deep research. You wouldn't use a hammer to turn a screw, right? And this is exactly where Perplexity is stepping in. They're saying this isn't just another chatbot, it's not another agent, it's a rebirth of that original idea of what a computer is.
Okay, let's quickly walk through how we got here. First, we have the chat interfaces, right? These are basically answer machines. Simple. You ask a question, you get an answer.
Then came AI agents, and that was a pretty big step up. Suddenly, you could give them a single specific task to do, like book this flight or summarize these emails. It wasn't just about getting information, it was about getting things done. And this is where things get really interesting. Perplexity Computer, it's designed to handle entire workflows, multiple steps, complex projects. We're not talking about one question or one simple task anymore. We're talking about managing a whole project from start to finish, one that could run for days, maybe even months, just like those human computers predicting that
Okay, so you're probably wondering, how on earth does it actually work? Let's pop the hood and take a look at how it goes from a simple goal to a finished project. The process is actually pretty elegant. Instead of giving it a command, you just describe the outcome you want, the end result. Say, create a deep dive market research report on the EV industry. From there, the system becomes this master project manager. It breaks that huge goal down into all the smaller tasks, creates a specialized little sub-agent for each one, and then puts them all to work.
And what really makes this work is that it acts like a genuine digital coworker. It gets its own secure environment to work in, a real browser, a real file system, and it can plug into other tools. But here's the genius move. If it gets stuck, it doesn't just give up. It can literally create a new little sub-agent on the fly whose only job is to solve that one specific problem, whether that's finding an API key or even coding a small app from scratch.
So how does it juggle all these moving parts? Well, the secret sauce is this idea of intelligent multi-model orchestration, which is a fancy way of saying it knows how to pick the perfect AI for every single part of the job.
I mean, take a look at this. It lays it all out. The system uses Opus as its main brain for thinking and planning, but when it needs to dig really deep into research, it hands that off to Gemini. Need an image? It calls on Nano Banana. Need something done fast? That's a job for Grok. It's exactly like a great project manager who knows every person on their team's strengths and weaknesses and assigns tasks perfectly to get the best result. So, when you put it all together, what does this actually mean for you? Well, it's not just a tool anymore. It's more like a new digital coworker, one that never gets tired and is an expert at, well, pretty much everything.
For a while now, we've had all these amazing AI models, but they were kind of like a world-class orchestra full of virtuosos with no conductor. They had all this incredible talent, but they couldn't coordinate to play a complex symphony. This system aims to be that conductor, making sure everyone plays their part at the right time to create something amazing.
And that, right there, brings us all the way back to the beginning. Remember that definition we started with? A system for the autonomous division of complex work? The argument here is pretty bold. AI has finally grown up to become the computer. This really is a fundamental shift in what we can even attempt to do. The questions we could ask were always limited by the sheer complexity of managing the work. But think about it. If you suddenly had a computer that could manage incredibly complex projects for you, projects that run for days or even months, what would you ask it to do? What huge problems would you finally be able to tackle? That's the real question.